G'day, lads. Welcome back to the One-Eyed Pod.
How we going?
We're back, baby.
A good response. Should we give old mate Benji a shout out, our loyal listener? Thanks for your nice comment on the I think it was the first episode actually.
Yeah, shout out,
But
Benj.
he caught it. He caught us on Spotify, left a comment, done us wonders, got us to the ton for 100 views, and now we're fucking legends in our own lunchbox, aren't we?
Yeah, that's great, mate. Well, we are doing great for the start of the year. We've got a lot of new listeners and a lot more viewers and stuff. So that's great.
Yeah, and we just ramble on. We don't know. We have no idea what we're talking about. So,
Yeah.
what we were going to talk about, Michael, this episode was
today is for anyone listening tonight. Yesterday or the day before, we've just had a few practice matches, and we had Richmond and West Coast. We've had Doggies, Essendon, and we've had Hawthorn and Geelong so far.
And the the Indigenous game as well, which
the Indigenous game.
The Freo game. Oh, I watched that coming home, had a couple of beers, felt great, and it was good to see footy back. And then I'm thinking about all these Jason Horne-Francis. There's multiple players. I just can't think of them. And then
The
Freo coach comes out and just says, "You know what? The game is just, it's not important to us. Don't take anything that you watched, out of that game." So, I don't know how to feel. Fuck you, Freo. You should have just taken it seriously, and we would have gone Sarong or Brayshaw or both, or just.
It was a good look at Brayshaw at Sarong. Hey, it just reminded me how much of a pig he is.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually, funnily enough, I'm looking at my team now. He's in the team, but that's only because I think Sarong's a better option than Brayshaw. But the Brayshaw, the 40K helps, I guess. But
Will, this is what's happening to you. You're just getting so. Will is the definition of just getting swayed. His team, he's probably gotten his team. He's got Will Day in his team. He's got Jay Horne-Francis. He's got Sarong in there. Who else did really well?
We'll get into Corny Man in a minute, but I'm getting scared. He had 130 SuperCoach points. 130 SuperCoach points off 17 touches, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's F1, isn't he? Yeah, I know, but 17 touches, just, 25 touches, one less goal, same score, same.
It was very impressive. It was very impressive. It's funny though. I'm still in my head backing in Rankin.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
That's feasible, but I'm looking at my team right now. I don't have either of them, and then I'm going, fuck. This is. I feel like you have to choose one of them. I just feel like, because we're gonna get onto it in a minute. Actually, we'll get onto it now. So we've gone. Well, I just did a little background, sort of, because we do fuck all preparation on the pod. We'll be honest. We'll put our hands up. But I was like, all right, well, let's just try and figure out the top 6 or, thereabouts. And the top 6, we'll just go to the forwards. Now, I've got Jason Horne-Francis number 1, Rankin 2, and those 2 are pretty firm. Then 3, you got Daniel, which could be, I guess there's no real order, but probably the first 4 are in order. But and then there's McRae, and then you got Dylan Moore, and then I've just came up with a bunch of names: Parker, Sanders, and Brent Daniels. You could probably chuck Hogan in there, and that's all you're playing with right now. Is that just that? That is. Are we going to have any fun? Are we going to have any fun with this game with this stupid forward line?
I reckon, but you've missed one. You've missed a few, actually. Your little gypsy. Three, maybe. 4.
3. So who are they?
I've missed 3. So you got Brian Myers, who looked fucking phenomenal in the practice match. I mean, hasn't swayed me to go for him, but he did look really good.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you've also
he did well previously. He has banged out a few big scores, although he has fucking pumped out a 60 as well.
yeah.
Do you remember that period last year? I remember mentioning him on the pod and you
Yeah,
laughed
you
at
wanted to
me.
pick him. Yeah.
If only Sean Manor was here. If only Sean Manor, he'd be easily in that top six. He's injured at the moment.
Maybe
He's injured.
he could make it into average though.
Who's the
Um,
others? Who's the others?
you actually get even more. You got Jai Simpkin here as well that you missed. You've also got Liam Baker. He's been told that he's playing halfback, and that's where he's staying. That's what he's been told this
And
year.
you watched the practice game. I missed that one. I had
I
a
haven't
few
watched
notes
it.
on the others. I think I had a few notes on the others. I'll just get them up. But I was more fixated on another West Coast player called Jack Graham.
Yeah,
Now, Elliot Yo's out. I saw that he basically attended all the CBAs. I can't
yeah.
remember what score he got at the end against Richmond, but it was what? How did you describe it? You basically said it was versing a dead shit team that has
Yeah.
no players in it.
It basically was. They were
Yeah,
just beating the living daylights out of him. And watching that game, you would say the West Coast will win the flag. Like,
Jesus, that it was that bad, was it? Because
well, I only
yeah,
watched a little bit of it, and then I just changed it. I was like, "Fuck this, go watch the other one." I only wanted to watch Layla. Is that how you say it?
yeah, and
Yeah,
he's broken his jaw, unfortunately.
and
Um,
broke his jaw. But yeah, I didn't pay
14
too much attention
CBAs
to
at
him.
the 14 CBAs, the highest amount of CBAs for Jack Graham, but his record is terrible. It's like 70s and 80s max, 85.
Put
So
him in.
he's 374K, so you can't even pick him. Like, I just don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'll just. The forwards, you just got to wait for track. You got to wait for track to come to forward. You just got to hope,
Mm.
that
There's
he
even
just
more people you've missed here. I'm just scrolling through.
go. I said
Um,
Hogan.
Luke Jackson has been told that he might even just be playing midfield this year.
No, can I just say I've heard
Go,
otherwise that Liam
hit it.
Reedy is ruck. Liam Reedy is going to play ruck, so he's going to play forward. Which
I know, but have you heard what else has been said?
go?
That Luke Jackson might just be an actual midfielder as well.
How This is why you can't trust Justin Longmire because he's saying this stuff. He's going to do the opposite, and then how is old mate? The only reason that would occur would be is because didn't Young get injured? I'm pretty sure Young
I'm
got a
not too sure.
calf or a hammy. How is that even? It's really aggravating me that you can't be playing him as a midfielder. That is a joke.
Well, he could.
That
He's
is,
a fucking beast. Imagine that.
he is, but
You could
surely,
definitely do it.
surely it's not feasible. I mean,
Let's
he's
have a
the
look at some
next
other
Mark
players.
Blickarbs, is he? He's the next Mark Blickarbs. He's playing
Definitely.
everywhere.
You've missed out on, mark my words, this is going to be a fucking great season for Lipinski. He's playing around the wing this year, so watch it. Won't be top six, but you'll have a great season.
Just the
Um,
wing roll.
yeah, definitely not top six, but yeah. No, I think that's it. Other than that, you've missed out just on,
Luke Parker. I said Luke Parker, but I'm still
yeah.
on the fence with Parker. Like, yes, with Simpkin and Parker, you can combine the two. One of them's going to benefit from Wardlaw being out,
Hmm.
but it's flip of a coin, isn't it? So,
I reckon it'll be Simpkin.
yeah. Well, he played a bloody good game on the weekend.
Yeah. Should we
Now
jump into the ruck?
yeah, we'll just do it from the other because I wrote the forwards first. But the ruck's pretty easy, isn't it? Gorn, Cherry, and TDK. I want you to sort of provide your thoughts because you told me you're rocking Reedy at R2. Is
I
that
was considering. Well, I'm just trying to work out how to fit all these bastards in my team. And if it comes at the expense of a ruckman and I get to put in,
a midfielder or a defender?
yeah, well, what I mean is like, because generally rucks score well. So if I can put in like a rookie ruckman who's going to score me rookie scores, but like escalated rookie scores, like I'm going to take it, you know? Because you're kind of getting, but it's if he scores that kind of stuff. Because if you've got a rookie just plain flat flat slate, and he doesn't have a position, and he scores 90 every week, would you put him on field? Would you put him in your team?
Yeah, I just think Liam Reedy was telling you earlier, but I think he had a 50 and a 30. I don't know how he went on the weekend in regards to scoring. I guess if he was pumping out 70s or 80s, it could be done. Remember last year that everyone was running that R2 rookie ruck, and you could run a midfielder or a defender there, and it was so good. And I
Yeah.
don't think I did it once because I just consistently got mucked around with the rucks and boosting out my rucks, and then Rowan Marshall, curse you, Marshall. That's another one just quickly. Rowan Marshall could be a forward because they wanted Harry Boyd or whatever his name is to be rucking with Marshall. So maybe Marshall could come to us.
Mm.
But
some late pushes, I reckon. Some real
what
late,
about
not
Lloyd
even
Meek?
late. I was just about to say, you got Lloyd Meek,
Yeah.
who could be in the mix. You've got Brody Grundy, who had an average season last year, could have a big season this year. Just don't know. We've got DC, the exact same thing. Had a great
DC's
last.
an interesting one.
Yeah,
DC's interesting, but I think he's just a draft. I just don't think you can. It's either Gorn, Cherry, TDK, or maybe just going Reedy, and you just wait for a lot of stuff. Like we said the last podcast, we're not even going to show our teams this week because it's all going to change. And then once we have all that info, we can put Reedy in our team and put in a elite midfielder or defender, and just be
that's
happy
it,
with it.
baby.
Just don't
Listen
get a
to
forward. Don't get a
listen to
forward.
this backstretch. Listen to this backstretch from DC. 131, 132, 121, a 99, a 165, a 144, and a 92. It's a pretty good back stretch.
Yeah.
That's after the bye.
Well, he won our. Did he win our best and fairest, or he would have come second?
Runners up.
Runners up.
Yep.
Like
And here we got
he.
Lloyd Meek as well. The back, like listen
Yeah.
to these scores. Like 140 after the bye, 145, 114, 104, 104, 115, 109. Like these
Look,
players have it in them.
Meek, and you were on the Meek pick last year, weren't you?
Yeah, it just wasn't as good as the Sherry pick.
Yeah, and that's why you've talked about fading old mate Tristan. I just can't do it again. It just hurt me. Hurt him. Just his helmet running around, just bulldozing people, getting touches, getting the hit outs, just tackling. Just does everything, that man. I think he's a beast. Are you going to
Yeah.
be if you are going Reedy? Who did you fade, Gorn or Cherry?
Sherry.
Oh my god!
Oh, big boy, big cojones. Yeah.
Jesus, all
Mate,
right,
listen to this. Honestly, let me make a case for Max Gorn right now, and then everyone else can and then that will be it.
yeah,
The first couple of games, he's got Sydney, Western Bulldogs, Hawthorn, Port Adelaide, Brisbane. Got the bye, then he's got Richmond, Geelong, and then Carlton, and then West Coast. Like, it's just a really good run.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's a really good run. Because what? Brody Grundy, maybe not even Tim English. Then you got Meek, which will be
Tim's
hard.
the
You got
other one.
Jordan. Yeah,
Tim's
Tim's the
the
other
other
one.
one. But those three, four options. Tim, I went Tim last year. He pissed me off a lot. So I don't want
I
to talk
wouldn't
about
go
him
there.
ever again.
And an interesting one is Toby Nankervis. Like, I feel like
Yes,
all
yes,
these can just go nuts. And
yeah.
before we move on, I know we're just rambling now, but before we move on, I know I say this every year, but I've heard that Kieran Briggs' mental state is back. The mental state is back. He's over his breakup with his girlfriend. We know what Briggsy done last year.
I'm pretty sure he came back. I'm pretty sure he came back unfit, or he did an injury.
Mate, it's because of his missus broke up with him. So 2023, we
Where
know what he did
where
last
have you
time.
heard this? Bigfooty.com. You keep coming.
I got these sources. I don't have to tell you where the sources are from, but I just know that Kieran Briggs is in a good mental state now and he's ready to have a ripping season. Don't watch this space. I won't pick him, but watch this space.
Jesus. Poor Briggsy, I hope you feel better, mate. I hope you feel better because if Michael's right, it's a shocking thing to go through. So, um,
Just rattled. That's why he
mids,
didn't want to go out and
mids,
tap the ball.
mids. This top eight, I think Bond has to be number one. Two, I've changed my order. I'll try and go as this to exact. So
Mhm.
Bond, probably Nick second, Butters third, Sarong, Oliver, Ed, and then Brayshaw, and then the last three would be a mix of Track, LDU, or Neil. What do you think about that? I think
The disrespect for Zach Merritt is fucking wild.
that is true. So I'll forget about Track LDU. I actually back LDU in. To be fair, he had an amazing season last year, and
Yeah.
Lockie Neal won the Brownlow. So it is a tough top eight, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, maybe merits that last bit. And then you've got your Track, LDU, Neil. That I would just bunch all four of them in. But I think, do you think I'm a little bit too hot on our man Ed Richards?
Wait, guys. I actually made a boo-boo just before. I gotta quickly fix this up. And then we'll go back to Ed Richards. Max Gawn's fixture is even better than what I said it was before. He's got GWS, he's got North Melbourne, then he's got Gold Coast, then he's got Geelong, then he's got Essendon, Fremantle, Richmond, and then West Coast.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we continue about Ed Richards. Sorry, go. What were you saying?
Do you want to put your camera on, by the way, for the viewers?
Is my camera not on?
Nah.
Right
There
there.
we go.
I'm
And
back.
if you're looking, Cherry's got GWS, Freo, Carlton, Brisbane, Geelong, Hawthorn, Adelaide Saints, and he's got the bad bye.
No,
He's got the round 12 bye. Cherry, not gone.
Sherry.
Cherry.
No, Cherry has Bulldogs, Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, Gold Coast, Carlton, Port Adelaide.
What am I looking at?
You're looking at last year.
2024. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's why I made a mistake with just before.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's all right.
I mean,
I did
it's
it
not
this
that
time.
good of a draw. It's not that good of a draw. It only really,
It's not.
well, Tim English actually, he's the liability in the ruck.
Is
He's what you're calling those ruckman midfielders, so-called midfielders that do bugger all and they just stand there. They're just a liability on the field. I think Bulldogs
no,
overpaid. Just being honest.
just being honest, probably. But for all
Eh,
listeners, the game is won and lost in the first 5 rounds. It really is.
And so, and is there a point to that? Are you saying that Cherry isn't the answer?
That's why I'm just saying why I'm going for Max Gawn.
Mm, mm. Good
He's
old
versing
Brady.
Briggsy. He's in a bit better of a headspace, but first game against Big God Kieran at the MCG, God, probably have a bit of demons to get through that one. And then he's up against North, which
All right,
will be
all
a
right.
tough game. Anyway, let's continue. We don't have to keep talking about the battle of Max Gawn and Cherry.
How passionate is he? Can you just at least put your camera on, mate? I'm doing this
Is it off
blind.
again?
Yes. There we go.
What's going on here?
Now, Eddie Richards,
Mm-hmm.
I've got him ranked 5. Could be just. Do you think he's a top 8 mid? It doesn't matter about the rankings, I guess, but I'm having trouble fading him because I know he's going to be ballistic. And is there a way that you could go Ed instead of Bont and try and fund, we know we love the pod duos here, but maybe you're a type of player that only wants the one player. Could we fade Bont and can Ed sort of, match
I've
him
seen
a little bit?
been seeing so much people fade Bont. I fucking love it. Like every time, everyone who has faded Bont, their team looks just so fucking good. They've got they have 4 like primos in there because they didn't go for Bont. Now they've got Sarong, they've got Butters, they got Will Day, they got Ed Richards. I'm just like, oh, this looks like a good team.
Is this
But
like is this like the last pod when you highlighted Ed Richards' 70 and he got concussed at halftime and you're trying to tell the listeners to fade him when you actually want him? It's like it's your
nah. See, I've got it. This is my theory right now. I am considering. I'm not gonna do it, but I am heavily considering fading Bont and going with like a Butters Sarong.
I don't mind it. I really don't
Yeah.
mind it. But it's just Bont. Bont's Bont. I can't do it to myself. Can you just
I know.
imagine him?
Oh, you'll have the worst Friday night of your life. It'll be Friday night. He's gone 180. Everyone's VC'd him, and you're just like sitting there, just wanting to kill yourself, going to watch a movie. That's what you were doing that night, watching a movie.
Yeah. But you're not watching the movie. You're on what's those live SuperCoach scores that we look at?
Fan footy. You're on fan footy.
You're on fan footy
Just
on your phone. Just it's going up. It's going up. He's just got and you know Bond. Last
he's
year
on the
we would
bench.
watch
He's on
Bond.
the bench.
He's on the bench plus 50.
So
See,
you have
that's
to
why you
have him.
can't fade it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, maybe I'll
Yeah.
try it. I haven't faded him yet. Yeah, so I think Ed could be top 8, and maybe you would have Ed instead of I think Ed's more questionable to break break that 110 sort of average.
Mm,
But you were telling me as well, you were reading reports that they're trying to teach him to break a tag and everything. So they're obviously holding him in high regard. So
yeah. I think he's their next like big thing. Like everything is Ed is the man.
yeah,
In saying that, I also reckon he's a shocking pick because Andrew Brayshaw could just probably has a better chance to do the same thing consistently.
and 50K extra. I guess
Yeah,
50K does mean a lot.
it
But
does
would
mean
you
a lot.
think? Do you think? Oh, they're all. Do you think Will Day or Ed Richards is a better pick?
Ed Richards.
And when considering Will Day got 100 and something in those 3 quarters, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
he got 100.
Did you
Ed
watch
Rich-
the Ed Richards versus Essendon? Because that's what it was. Did you watch that?
no, I didn't.
Just a
Can
fucking pig, man. I think he only played 2.25 quarters. Maybe someone can correct me.
yeah.
But an absolute pig. Just
I did.
constantly around the ball. Parrish, when Parrish was playing last preseason, that's what it
Yeah,
looked like. And it was just
and
terrible.
and we know how much we love Paris. Then it was just. But thank God he didn't suck us in. But the I did read that he was basically 80%. Like the whole time he was CBA. It wasn't like he moved anywhere
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
No.
That's all right. The next one I think would say, are we fading Neil and
Give me one sec. Give me one sec.
LD? That's all right.
Go.
In regards to Neil, LDU,
I
uh,
really like LDU and I would pick him in my team if I could fit him in. But I think because his buy just fucking kills us. Am I frozen
yeah,
again?
could happen the whole time.
It is. Getting paid so much money for this piece of shit.
Don't bring that up.
Anyway, I would have LDU in my starting team. I just don't think I can fit him in. But I think he'll be top 8. What about you?
And I think he can definitely be top 8. And I'm pretty sure it's his contract year. I'm pretty sure it's his contract year. So he could be on the walk, and he might want to impress a few teams or get a bigger salary if you believe in that stuff. But he can win a game off his own boot. Him and Sheasel just connect so well.
Mhm.
And we own LDU. I guess we could have chosen Neil first before LDU last year.
Don't bring it up. No, don't bring it
You're
up.
right. But LDU actually proved himself and just went bonkers at the end of the year. So I wouldn't be surprised if what did LDU average last year? I'm pretty sure it was around 110.
I don't know, but all I remember is him pumping out a 150 and us going like da 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 da, da and then
He
fucking
averaged
Neil done.
109. But yeah, I think he's round 12. He went ballistic in the round 9 to round 15, and that's when we sort of owned him, didn't we? So he
Yeah,
went, um, oh, he went, where is it? So round 6, I don't think we had him. 101, 112, 90, 109, and then Essendon 152, 11, round 11, 117, 114. I think that's when we picked him 147, 148, 72, 114, 133, and then a few low tons. So he's got that up his web in his arsenal, but 109 average, probably 113, I reckon. He could be 5 points better, but maybe he just stays the same. Do you agree?
yeah. I think it would be very much the same, but I think it was going to be a little bit nicer. I think he's going to be pumping out pretty consistent, like 120s.
Um, just quickly, I think just the highest. I couldn't believe how highly he's owned, but I'm pretty sure he's owned by 40% of the league. But old mate Nick Dacos. Now we've got a bet that Dacos will win the Brownlow this year. So I assume
Mhm.
you would rank him very high on your list in regards to the midfielders. But do you see any merit in starting him? He averaged 117 this year. I think he could maybe get to probably that or 120.
I wanted to start him and you took me out of it.
Yes, but I think what the issue is is you wanted to start him ahead of Butters, and I mean you could actually do it for Bont, um, and that's a great
Mate,
idea.
I think that it is wild that everyone is fading Nick.
No,
Like,
but not
what are we
everyone. Not
doing?
everyone is. I think the community maybe or on Twitter or wherever you're looking at teams, they're fading Nick because you know the rounds the early buy. And I guess Butters play with the person that you were going to trade out was Butters, and they play Richmond that game. But can you cop someone similar, say Bont? Like Bont will match him while he's having a break and could score maybe say 100 points more or even 150. Depends on
He averaged 117 last year.
But couldn't you just get him straight after his buy?
Well, for how?
Just the first upgrade. You just sell your soul. You just go cherry.
who, who are you upgrading into Nick Dacos at like nearly 700K?
Well, so Collingwood have their buy round 2, yeah?
Yeah. So he wouldn't have had a price increase yet. So you wouldn't even be able to upgrade. Like, how are you getting this guy?
So we got 40 trades this year. You could just, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it. In all honesty, I probably wouldn't do it. But round 4, who's got the buy? You can't trade Elijah Sardis for him.
You
It's it's
can't.
it's basically
That,
impossible. It's
that's what I'm
basically
saying. You
impossible.
can't get him if you don't start him. I don't know how you're going to get him. Like, what did he drop down to last year?
Uh he didn't. I'll just get it for you.
He started at 650. He dropped down to the lowest was 560. 66. 566 is what he dropped to, and then just stayed at that 600K mark the whole season.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess the argument is if you really want him, apparently he's recovered off this injury that he has.
Can I
He's
say
playing
this? Can
yep.
everyone who's listening, right? We've got enough people who listen now. And people are going to be like, fuck, this is so stupid. As if these dickheads are going Nick Dacos, right? I want you right now, stop the podcast. Don't listen to it. Nobody make it past this part. Go watch Nick Dacos highlights and then tell me that how you're going to get him in the team. Just tell me how you're going to do it.
And we'll just go the run. I'm just gonna change it
I
to
don't understand it. I don't have him in my team. I want him in my team. I don't know how I'm gonna get him in.
Port, Port, Western Bulldogs, Carlton, Sydney, and Brisbane, and Essendon, and say what does Bont have? He would have. I'm just sick of this round. He has North, Collingwood, Carlton, Freo, and Bont loves Freo. I just think the extra game is outweighs
I
the
think you're right.
yeah, but it's very unfortunate, and that's the same reason why we'll get onto him later. But Houston, um, he's a premium great defender, but he's got that early buy which shares with Mills, and that's the thing. Mills, Roberts, if you're picking him. Um, it's only Collingwood and Sydney, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, there was one other player I thought that I had in my team, but it ended up being three or four players out. So maybe the buy is I don't know. We'll have to look into it. You're
I'm
going to
gonna
the game.
fade. Yeah, I'm gonna fade a player. I haven't decided yet. I'm putting Dacos in.
I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
go full guns and rookies. I'm gonna
Oh,
keep Bun. I'm gonna keep Bont and Butters, but I'm gonna get rid of someone else.
good call, Caro. Um, now I
Shut
think
up,
that's
cunt.
Jesus Christ. um, oh, can you just that's abuse right there. Now
He's rattled from that.
I am the I the
Just fucking
defenders
rattled. He can't even think. I got him with a
the
shut up cunt
defenders
and he's done.
the defenders I'm pretty sure Shazel is number one. Can we just point that out? He looks
Wait,
by all of reports.
before you leave I want to
Yep,
talk about the midfielders. Now,
yep. These are
is it
flyers.
we don't want to talk about anything else other than that?
Oh no. You can put them out there, but these are going to be great players that you're going to bring up.
Okay, don't worry then. No, because I was just and we'll touch on this in another episode, but I was
Yeah.
basically gonna say that there's just so many really, 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 really good like 200k players. Should we are we being silly right now in getting this stacked midfield, and should we stack somewhere else
Well,
and
that's
try fit
that's
in these
well
200k
that
players?
that was for my comment, and you've rattled me, and I can't even remember my comment. But it was about going the it was about going the guns and rookie strategy because, baby, I love the mid prices. I remember you bagging me on Facebook a couple of days ago, just saying that is so mid price heavy. And you know what? I love the mid prices. I love them so much. I love them to death, and that I'm going to be dying on the mid price hill. There's just so much. You've got Peatling in there. I don't think they'll be the flyers that we're talking about, but you got Peatling, you got Cherry, you got Ashcroft. You can class Clary in there. You've got who else is 250 sort of K player? You got Sanders, that's around that mark.
O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll, who played great, wing, has some scoring in him. Um, there's so many options. We've talked about this multiple times that you actually can't pick them all.
Yep.
Um,
And like
so
even just below that, you've got like Langford, you've got Sheldrick, Sardis, Smith. Like these are rookies though.
Sardis,
Like
we forgot about Sardis. Sid
yeah.
Draper, they said that he um might be the sub, so I might steer clear. But there is also Sam Banks for Richmond who's taking the kick-ins. Or I think his name's Sam Banks. Or it's all wait and see until the actual preseason games come out. But there's so many 200 and mid-price players that probably could just score as much as your guns and rookies sort of structure. And
Mm,
we've talked about the 113k, that 113 to 160k range. There is bugger all people apart from probably Nevitt and Hewitt that I'm, sure about. There's
yeah.
no confidence whatsoever. Um,
The exact
so,
same.
so Dacos is removed again from your team, I'm assuming.
I just don't know how to get him in there. I've decided that I'm so like stuck with my team right now. Like I'm so obsessed with it that I hate getting rid of players. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, but I really would like him in my team. So I just leave it.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
That's
get rid
that's
of
what happened to
everything.
me.
I'm going to delete everything and
Oh,
start
don't
from
do
the
that.
start
You
and
need a
just
starting
try
point.
heaps.
You
No,
need a starting point.
I'm just gonna try heaps of different combinations and see what comes back at the best.
Oh, and we're forgetting about Mills, by the way, the biggest lock at 357K I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um, and that could be just for the so we got Sheasel. I had Witt number 2. This somewhat in order, I think maybe. Holmes 3, but definitely top 6, I think, from what we've seen from him.
Hmm.
I mean, he had 110 fantasy, I think. Um,
He looked mighty fine, didn't he?
and pure mid, like I said, Mikey. Um,
Or
Still
was
haven't
he?
got him in my team. Still haven't got him in my team.
Neither.
I
Fuck
really want
him.
him. Um, I think I had the list just in front of me. Bear with me. Clark next. Jordan Clark. He
I
is
hate this.
now. I think I've seen teams with Clark, but I think they play Freo round 2. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're playing round 2. If that
Clark is
is
in Freo.
Sydney, Freo Sydney, sorry, and the
Yeah.
Sydney um every week he gets tagged, doesn't he? Or not every week. When Sydney play each
Yeah. James
time.
Jordan tag.
Yes. So I don't think that's given me any confidence. Um,
And what do we say? It's won and lost in the first 5 rounds. And if you've got Clark in there getting tagged, oh, it's tough.
you know what they say.
But
I will just remember it. The great Nick Crook said, "Sunkissed is just a poor man's Fanta." Just putting it out there. Just putting it
fucking
out
zing.
there.
Fucking zing. Just get him, baby.
um,
Well, what's Clark's poor man?
Luke Ryan. It has to be Luke
Oh, yeah,
Ryan.
yeah, 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 yeah. Why have you got Ryan at fucking
I think
D6?
I think Ryan is. If you look at Ryan's, when I picked him at
For the
650K,
listeners, Crooksy has Luke Ryan at D6. I would have him.
top 6. Yep.
What is this in order or not in order?
Not really in order, but I think he would
Okay.
be around top 4. I don't think he's finishing top 3. Because since they changed the games, right? They changed the how they go about it around 14, around after the buys, and they were concerned. He pumped out a 79, 93, 116, 99, 98, 99, 75, 126, 156, 68, 114. He
You
wasn't
know what it
getting the
was?
he wasn't getting his 130s at round 12. He was averaging 130 at round
Yeah.
12.
It's because JL, no, it wasn't JL. I think it was Fife walked in on Luke Ryan with his own SuperCoach stats up in the toilet, just going, fuck yeah, cunt. Fuck yeah, cunt. And he's like, whoa, what's going on here? I told JL, and he's just like, we're going to stop the stat padding, guys. I know some people have
Well,
taken it a bit far.
I think Justin Longwheel wasn't, whatever, however you say his last name, he wasn't happy about it because he
He
went
wasn't.
he went
Mate.
after a game just saying, "Hey, I've seen someone in the toilet half time." But so that I don't think you can't. I've seen some people pick Ryan at starting Ryan. I don't think that is a play at all.
I
And
don't
I
think
think
it's the Ryan of last year.
and I think Houston will average more than Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
Poss-
one person who's different.
yep.
I reckon my boy Sicily's going to be top 6.
Yeah.
I know
He
he's. Go, sorry.
he's who I am tossing up between Holmes, Sicily, Holmes and Sicily, same price point.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, he looked good, James Sicily,
He looked
and
fucking good.
you know what we love
He's
about
in
it?
my team.
You know what we loved about it? He was the first one to have a go at Bailey Smith and wrestling him to the ground. That's got
It's
to
the
mean something
only.
to us. It's got
No,
to
no.
mean something.
It made me respect him so much more. As he's sick of seeing Bailey Smith's face everywhere as well. And he went
Exactly.
out. He went to work on the weekend, and guess who was there? Bailey Smith.
Hey, he looked unreal. He had all the ball. Like, they were just, hey, how do we get out of this, situation that we're in? Geelong are peppering us, and they're like, "Jimbo," and Jimbo would just mark the ball or put himself in just an awesome spot so he can do a beautiful kick. It's just he's like a Lamborghini. When he's on, he's like a Lamborghini, and I can't go past it. But then Tom Barras wasn't playing, and
I
he played a
know.
little bit forward at the end, didn't he? So I think it's a wait and see.
Well, I can tell you what happened, silly duck. So he was playing full back.
Yeah,
He was playing back, doing his classic floating. Went off at halftime.
yeah,
Battle got a knock around, so then Battle had to come off. So
yep.
then they it's like put some magnets around and just chucked Sicily back on.
All right.
Yeah, just to play the last quarter.
It'll be very interesting to see. I think I really want to pick him, and I think he's a better. He would average more than Holmes if he had his spot. You would agree with that? I don't think.
Yeah.
I
He,
think you'd be in the minority to say Holmes is better.
this is listen to this though, and this is kind of what is swaying me. Now, I don't want everyone to go Sicily because I don't know if he's a pod, but if he is, I want to keep him as
I think he was in
mine.
9% or something.
I'll take that. I'll take that over Holmes. So this is not amazing scores, right? But this is when he got tossed around a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, 142, 102, 123, 73, 73, 107, and then 53 where he got injured, and then a 102. So
yeah,
they're not setting the world on fire, but he's just getting thrown around everywhere and still able to get a score.
yeah.
Um, so it's not the best scores in the world, but hopefully he plays in the position that we hope he does, and he
Well,
doesn't score that.
yeah. Well, I think him as a third defender, or that the role that he played 2 years ago, when everyone, because it was similar to 2 years ago, he was around 530K or something, and then everyone slept on him, and then he was just going ballistic.
Hmm.
And the only reason why people traded him out was because he got rubbed out for 4 weeks.
Yeah,
But he was just super coach pig, like almost D1, wasn't he?
he's gonna do it again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well,
Now,
real quick, last thing on Sicily, they did try Hardwick there, and he was awful.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I know they're saying they're going to go with Gunston. I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue about Hawthorn. I don't even
Well,
know how long
Mitch
Mitch
Lewis
Lewis
is
has.
late. I think he's a little bit later. Cal Shadir's got an injury, but I've heard I think he's out indefinitely. So
Yeah,
there is a risk that he would, but Hardwick is forward.
yeah.
Um,
Marby Shoal is terrible. I don't know what that guy is on, but he's one of the worst forwards I've ever seen in my life.
he looked really good out there, real muscly. Like he's been hitting the gym, jolly. What hasn't he got a sick celebration? Oh, I can't even remember. Didn't he
I
do?
don't know.
He jumped over someone. I'm pretty sure last year.
Really?
Heard of the wizard. I'm pretty sure.
All right, maybe he's better than I thought. He's a bit of a gun. I like people jumping.
The two Sydney boys. Now, I know you're big on Matt Roberts. Do you think he can creep into the top 6 or top 8? The flyer
Um, oh
territory.
God, no. I don't think he's played enough footy to keep it up consistently. If he does, it'll be fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Because how many games has he played in the last what three
I
years?
think
He
he's
was
been pretty consistent. He came to
injured for a bit.
yeah. I'm pretty sure he might be third year in the system. He's young. Um,
Yeah, but what I'm saying, there we go. Look at this. Last year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I think he
6,
was a
7,
rookie
8,
2 years
9,
ago.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So not he
Oh,
played about
3 years.
20 games, and in 2023 he only played a handful. So he's played about 20 AFL games in total, maybe 23.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really like him. He's a really good talent. He's
Yeah.
in my team. I think he's going to make some cash and like be a person to get a rookie off the field and score a lot, like a potential 100 to 90s kind of range, which I'm
Yeah.
happy to have and would love to have in my team for what? How expensive is he? 434.
Yeah.
Make some cash, get me 100K, and that get me up to like a fucking big boy.
Do you I haven't got it right in front of me, but there was a bloke Perryman that I was going to talk about, but I'm
Mm.
pretty sure they have to average. I'm pretty sure around 95 to 100 to even make that 100k.
Yeah, I think he'll
You
be
know,
around the 90 to 100.
yeah, it's something you got to factor in, but it could be an easy buy flip given the amount of trades that we got. When I can't remember what buy he actually has, but you could just trade him at the buy and get a solid score, like you said. The other bloke, Mills, who I said was a lock. I mean, I still think he is a lock given his great track record, and everyone has him anyway. But do you think he could be top six? Or,
Yeah,
yeah, I
hopefully.
agree. I had him in there.
He's
I
playing pure mid, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's 357, so like the there's not much risk. 357 is it's a bargain. We're all raving about Peatling.
There's no
Mills is
downside.
no, not one bit. Um,
The only downside is he gets injured for a whole season, ruining injury in the first round, and we all cry.
yeah, if he gets on the piss and tries to tackle a teammate and does his shoulder, he's always unlucky. He's just a cursed child, Millsy. Um, the other one, yeah. So I just spoke about Perryman. I was listening to a Scott Pendlebury podcast, and he, because who did we get in Collingwood? We got Perriman, we got Houston, and so you'd expect Houston to be commented on, and then there was Membry. So I guess really you'd assume that everyone's talking about how good Houston is, and and Pennels is just on his. And if you haven't listened to this documentary, it's a bit weird, but they're basically just commenting about stuff after training and how he's going physically and what he had to go through, and then he's like provided comments on one player, and he's only just commented on how good Harry Perryman is, and he's reminds him of so much of Luke Ball. And now we're pies nuffies. Luke Ball was bloody important for that 2010. Um, and he was amazed of how clean and skillful he was. And then there's reports that he's playing full time mid. For 3 seasons when he played mid, he averaged 90 to 95. I think I think he could be. I Were you ever playing Supercoach when George Hewitt averaged that crazy 110? Were
No,
you ever? So
no,
Hewitt,
I had
when
my second year last year, so the year before that, my first.
yeah, Hewitt, Perryman's similar to how you talked about Roberts. I think Perryman has the opportunity if he's a full time mid to just go ballistic and make his money and go to your Ryans, your Clark, or whatever. Um, but I think you could probably just he's in 3% of teams right now, so you could probably get a look at round zero. But the unfortunate thing is he's I guess it just makes it easier if, or a safer pick if everyone gets him from a round zero,
Mm.
really good game. And it's different to Dacos and that because, you're not replacing him with a 650k player, but I guess it's Perryman or Roberts. I don't know if you can rock them both, can you? Because you'd have Perryman, Roberts, and Mills all in the same defense. You can't rock all three of them.
And SDK.
Yes, that's the other one. I think we can quickly move on to that one. Full-time ruck?
Oh,
How
it's
many
really risky. It's
how
like
many
full
Geelong
time.
players how many Geelong players do I want in my team as well? We need to answer that question.
I
I
don't
already
think you
have
can fit him in.
I think you could probably fit him in instead of Roberts and maybe try and get a primo out of it, but he averaged 95 when he was in ruck, but I don't know. Chris Scott doesn't give me much hope. He could easily just say, "Flick ups, just ruck a little bit, mate." I just Do you think that it'll be a trap pick, or do you think it'll work out? 360k is pretty juicy.
I have no read on it at all. I just have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I think you can wait. He's already played one game, to be honest,
Mm.
and did a right in the ruck, to be fair. But and Toby Conway's out for a while, so I think he
How
could
long?
maybe. I think he's out indefinitely. The last message I saw, I think he had a bulge in it. What
Bulging
do they
disc.
call it? Yeah, bulging disc in the back. He's out indefinitely because I think I said to you he's round 6 or round 8, and then they've said he's yeah, that he's out indefinitely.
Mm.
Um, I'll just go through one quick one, and I think we can round it up because I've got low battery on my MacBook. I'm sorry, mate, but the podcast's been going on for a while anyway.
Yeah, we're
Jacob
ready.
Blight. Jacob Blight. Have you got any interest looking at McCleeless? You didn't watch the Richmond, the
I haven't
number
watched
2
the
pick?
Richmond. No, I didn't see him. Did he do well?
He got 10 marks. He marked everything. Like we were saying last week, we've got to target these Richmond defenders
Mhm.
because they're going to get used and abused. They're going to be used and abused.
What, like the
Um,
Gibcus role, was it?
no, I think he was an intercepting defender, but he got 10 marks. He didn't take any kick ins, but he's got a good record in the Waffle or Samful. I'm pretty sure he averaged 80 or 90 coming. Um, pretty sure he did. For as an intercepting defender,
Mm.
250K could be that show and maker, Kitty Coleman, Sin placeholder that we've always been looking for. I think he could be a watch. I don't think he's a flyer at all, but I think he's worth keeping an eye on.
250K, did you say?
246 to be exact, yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's a lot of money.
But considering we have no defenders, or is it worth just skipping him and finding those 200K midfielders that we just talked about, at length?
It's
And
just so what does he have to score for it to be worth it?
well, he's priced at a 65 average. So he's got to average what? 80, a little bit more. Yeah,
Do you think he can
82.
do that?
Well, I haven't got his fantasy stats up, but I'm pretty sure he would have got a 90 or something. I think, yeah, the jury's out. I think you could just wait and see with him. But he would, if we've got 246K, the defenders are they're just so questionable at the moment. The rookies,
Mm.
he might be one that we
I thought people were pretty
strongly
hot on
consider.
those rookies, like the Toby Travalia,
Apparently,
and
he's going
then
to play
Bo
round one.
Allen,
Bo,
Leake,
Bo Allen
and
played. He looked all right. Patton is another one. Yeah, there's a couple, but
Leake. Tom Green's out now.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he's playing midfield, I think. And then
And you would
I've
pick
got
them
him here,
ahead of Blight.
Riley Bice. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Riley Bice is all right. There's another one that I've forgotten, Patton. But you would pick them ahead of a 250K defender. You've got to that point now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Well, unless there's 250K defenders scoring 90s and 80s, well, then I'll put him in my team. But
yeah.
I don't think I can, like, what, an intercept marker at Richmond who's
No
in his
kick-ins.
first year,
No
no
kick-ins.
kick-ins. Bloke just has to be a fucking jet. Like, if he has the first 2 games and he scores like 80 or 90, it's like, I'll put him in my team.
Yeah, maybe it's a trade. A Yeah, we're all. Let's be honest. We're kidding ourselves if we're not going to use all our boosts in the first couple of weeks. That's what we all do. So I guess maybe
Mate,
that is something that
boost,
you
boost,
consider.
boost, 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 boost. Just use them
Oh,
all. Fuck it.
well, that's what I've done 2 years in a row. I
But
wanted
no,
to
I
have
don't think
different.
I'm going him. I
All
don't think
right,
I'm going to go to him. Are you going to go to him?
I've got him in my team right now. But maybe I just swap back to Roberts and try and figure it out.
But you could be right though, because if this guy is scoring, let's just say he scores 70s for an example, and then you've got like a Toby Travalia, like let's just say, for example, or Bo Allen, they're scoring 50s, right?
Yeah,
Well, it was worth spending the extra money then, wasn't it?
exactly. Oh, but I think you could probably put him at D3, not D3, D4. And then you got the Travalia and Allen. I think it's just too thin. But you're trying to just make small sacrifices. And the reason why I've chose Blight was to get Jason on Francis in.
Hmm.
It's just a wait and see for preseason,
How
but I
does
think he's an
how
interesting
does that
option.
get you Jason Horn Francis in? What kind of structure are you running, mate?
I traded out Matt Roberts and put Blight in, and then I put in Horn Francis, and I'm running one big forward setup, and I removed Sanders, but it's all too complicated, and I can't be bothered showing my team until the next pod because it's going to change again, mate. But I just
All
think
right.
he's an interesting option. And just to lastly leave on this, Adam Chera is back in the team. He's back in the team. He's back in the team. I was listening to the first pod, and it made me remind 2 years ago his form was so good, and it's an injury-free preseason. I think it's Adam Chera's year, and he's in the team. Just ending it on the pod there.
Let me leave you with the last thing just before we leave. Will's just got a walking soft tissue injury in his team. Just he's just goes down, walks downstairs to get some peanut butter on toast, does a hammy.
Hey,
All
wasn't it
right, we'll leave
calves?
it.
It was hammies. It was hammies,
Hammy,
wasn't
it
it?
was hammies. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Um, we'll see
See
you
you
after
next
the
time
practice match. Good luck,
with our
everyone. Who you're
teams.
looking at? Yeah, we'll do a
Yeah.
teams next time. All right,
Go Ed
bye.
Richards.